EFCC has requested Bola Tinubu asset declaration document from the Code of Conduct Bureau. People's Gazette can report in a politically charged inquiry that could see the former Lagos governor and ruling party chieftain arrested and prosecuted before 2023. The Anti-Graft Office in November 2020 asked the Asset Fraud Investigation Office to supply details of Mr. Tinubu's asset documents as part of an ongoing probe of the politician. According to a copy of the request obtained by the Gazette, the request dated November 6 was a follow-up to previous demands made with respect to Mr. Tinubu's asset filings. In the letter, the EFCC referred to its previous letter of September 4, 2020 and CCB's response of October 9, 2020 asking Bureau to supply outstanding requested information of Bola Ahmed Adekunle Tinubu. It was not immediately clear whether or not the CCB has obliged the EFCC's request for additional information ever since, or the nature and scope of information provided if applicable. The EFCC's November 6 memo also included another high-profile politician and Buhari administration official, but the Gazette's lawyers advised that his identity should be protected until our reports and editors have established why he was being investigated. Respective spokesperson for the EFCC and CCB did not return requests seeking comment about Mr. Tinubu's investigation as led by Abdulrasheed Bawa when he was the head of Lagos Zonal Office. Mr. Bawa was confirmed as the chairman of EFCC last week despite being a subject of a smoother corruption probe. An official said he is now fully in charge of Mr. Tinubu's case. A spokesman for Mr. Tinubu did not return calls and messages seeking comments, but two associates strategizing for the former governor told the Gazette he had already learned of the probe and sent messages to President Muhammadu Buhari for mercy. Asiwaju Tinubu contacted the president some weeks ago to protest that his hands are clean of any dubious practices. The source said under anonymity to avoid damaging his relationship with Lagos heavyweights. He told the president that if the EFCC must proceed with its probe, then it has to do so with compassion and fear of God. But what Asiwaju really wants is for the investigation to stop, because we all know it was instigated by Abubakar Malami to harass and persecute the party leader and destabilize him before 2023, the source said. Another source close to Mr. Tinubu said he recently heard the politician complaining about the influence of the Attorney General on the Buhari administration. Says, we were together and I heard it when he said Malami wanted to become the kingmaker in the APC, the source said. He also said Malami does not have the intellectual strength to direct the affairs of a ruling party and will not be allowed to kill the party. A senior EFCC official familiar with Mr. Tinubu's investigation said the agency was aided in part by Nigeria's adoption of a financial system driven by modern surveillance infrastructure. Mr. Tinubu was already arraigned in 2011 for asset declaration fraud, but the matter was dismissed due to the failure of prosecutors to find enough evidence to substantiate their claim that he operated foreign bank accounts while governor between 1999 and 2007. But the EFCC has now found additional information and believe it would successfully nail Mr. Tinubu using the same set of asset documents but with advanced layers of verification. Nigeria has adopted the bank verification number and strengthened its financial intelligence department since 2011. The EFCC has traveled a long distance from 2011 when Tinubu was first prosecuted, an anti-graft chief said. Now we are carrying out a tech-driven anti-corruption war. The official also said Mr. Tinubu's alleged asset fraud is only an aspect of multiple counts to be instituted against him by the EFCC. He said we have petitions from a group in Abuja that we should investigate the source of those bullion vans that were driven into his house in 2019, the official said. We are also investigating his use of several processes to collude with governors in Lagos and siphon money from the state. In November, the Gazette published bank documents that showed how Mr. Tinubu Alpha Beta was moving the questionable funds it received from Lagos State into other companies linked to Mr. Tinubu, including broadcaster TVC and Lagos Metro bus providers. But EFCC ability to prove its case against Mr. Tinubu's this time could still prove more challenging than officials boasted, especially as he was said to have talked his deals and assets in complex layers of financial maneuvering. Officials could not immediately comment on what Mr. Buhari knew about Mr. Tinubu's probe, but they expressed confidence that the president would be reluctant to stand in the way of a criminal investigation. Mr. Tinubu has long been considered untouchable because of the role he played in bringing Mr. Buhari to power, but his influence was waned since 2015 when Mr. Buhari shut him out of his inner circles after being sworn in as president. An arrest and prosecution of Mr. Tinubu could blight his 2023 chances for president. The former Lagos governor opened a campaign office in Abuja last year, although he has yet to publicly declare his presidential run. One of Mr. Tinubu's associates who spoke with Gazette said his ambition clashed with some other interests within the ruling APC, especially those of Mr. Malami. He said, we know that it is the turn of the South to produce the next president, Mr. Tinubu's associates said. So we don't know why they are trying to humiliate him with their preliminary 2023 policies that they want to use to remove him from consideration for our party's tickets. So my own question now is that why is it that corruption and stealing is associated with most of these politicians? Because at the end of the day, they will sweep everything under the carpet. All of these matters here and there. All this rumor here. Now so it be. Oh, no be so it be. At the end of the day, you won't hear anything. But Nigerians know that something is wrong somewhere. But they know how to cover themselves up. And some people are in a school of thought of, oh, wow, where there is nothing they are going to do to Tinubu. Even when Tinubu was giving the ruling party then his PDP, that why is it that if really the way he was giving them it, they would have been able to bring him out. They would have been able to send him to jail. They would have been able to expose him, but they couldn't do that. But don't forget that APC and PDP, they know how to go about all of these things. Forget it. But my own question is that all these political leaders, there's one corrupt cases against them. Even this new EFCC, we've been hearing a lot of things, but the EFCC came and they try to they exonerate him. They say, oh, it's not like that. But all of them, see Magu case, so we are hearing another thing. Of course, we've learned that Mr. Malami, the AGF, is trying to contest for the presidential ticket in 2023. That is interested, just like the CBN governor who is interested in becoming the governor of Delta State. That is how they fix themselves. So honestly, the whole thing is just a mess. Who are the people that will save this country? That's why some people say we want to go our separate ways. So those who are on the side of, oh, we want to be one Nigeria, they are not doing anything to even encourage people to say, yes, we are living in a country that we can be proud of. Every individual who is proud of themselves, they are just doing that at their own private level or at individual level. But when you come as a country, no, it's a different thing entirely. You just have to lay your own path that, oh, I have my own integrity irrespective of how the country is being labeled, but I have to prove myself. Anywhere I go, I have to prove myself. Those who have that integrity, they are doing that at their personal level, not as a country. But as a country, if you say, oh, you want to be proud of Nigeria, no, it's not going to happen. This Alpha Beta today, Alpha Beta tomorrow, this and this and this and that. But we know that this corruption and stealing is associated with them. They must have one corrupt case against it. Then who do you trust? And these are the people you think that they are going to make Nigeria great. Mbano, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So guys, let us hear your opinion, whether it is all the same thing, any little thing. You know, definitely they are just preparing Tinubu. By the time it gets to 2022, yes, she were in 2021 now. By the time you get to 2022, that's when we will now know the real cocoa. They will bring everything out. They are preparing the ground. especially even if we don't know anything, but this issue of billion van that everybody saw koro, they won't sweep it under the carpet. I know, because now dog, now you go see it dog. So guys, let's hear your opinion in the comment section concerning this.